Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. And before we dive into today's kiki, which is deciphering what really happened to Heather Gay's eye, how did she get this infamous black eye? Is Bravo playing games with our hearts and she was just drunk and fell into a plant, fell into a door, fell into a window. I don't know. Was she just sloppy drunk and knocked herself out? Or was Whitney Rose or Jen Shah behind her shiner? But before we dive in, you know what to do. Go ahead and like this video. Subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to share this with a friend because a kiki is always better with community. Check out our description box down below and let's get into it. Now, I have a couple of sources, all right? I got a couple of sources. The first one, we're going to go through Life and Style. They have an article that says, why does Real Housewives of Salt Lake City Heather Gay have a black eye? Get spoilers. We'll go through that article and we'll talk about it. But then there's also someone on Instagram called Socialite Gossip who says she has the inside scoop on what really happened to Heather Gay's black eye. And we'll get into that as well. So let's start with the Life and Style. And then I will show you the video on what the woman from Socialite Gossip said on Instagram about Heather Gay's eye from her inside source. So let's get into it. Why does Heather Gay have a black eye? That's the question every Real Housewives of Salt Lake City viewer is asking as season 3 continues to air. In the show's mid-season trailer, released in November, the Bravo star, 40, removed her sunglasses and showed co-star Meredith Marks a huge bruise around her left eye. For weeks, fans have been speculating about what could have gone wrong. However, the real story has yet to be revealed. Keep reading for what we know so far. How did Heather Gay get a black eye? Unfortunately, it's still unclear how the reality star got that nasty bruise. Following the 11th episode of season 3, Real Housewife of Salt Lake City viewers took to social media and shared their disappointment about the unanswered questions. Me on my deathbed, still waiting to find out who gave Heather Gay this damn black eye, hashtag Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. One Twitter user wrote, alongside a photo of Rose from the Titanic claiming it's been 84 years. Another person revealed that they thought the Barbie trailer would complete them, however, added, but then I remembered that I still don't know how Heather Gay got a black eye. A third Twitter user called Bravo unhinged for thinking that we're supposed to look at Heather Gay with that ginormous black eye and not know what happened. However, does Meredith Marks know how Heather Gay got a black eye? While appearing on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen on December 14th, Meredith did speak about Heather's black eye. Well, I have been appointed as Ms. Gay's counsel, the Bravo star 51 joked. I cannot comment, it's privileged. Did Whitney Rose give Heather Gay a black eye? Heather and Whitney Rose's relationship has had its ups and downs throughout the season. However, the Wild Rose Beauty founder, 36, has denied giving Heather the black eye. Did you do this, yes or no? A fan account asked on Twitter in August ahead of the season 3 premiere, referring to the now infamous black eye. Whitney replied, no, of course not. Now I have the receipts. This is that tweet where the Real Housewives gifts asked her, did you do this, yes or no, with a photo of Heather Gay and the black eye. And Whitney Rose's official account says, no, of course not. So can we rule out Whitney Rose? Or do you think if she did it, she would actually admit it if everyone is willing to protect her? Like, if I gave somebody a black eye and everybody was willing to protect me, why would I go on Twitter and admit that it was me? So let's think about that. But let's keep going. Meredith, for her part, also addressed the Heather and Whitney feud on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, revealing that she thinks the Bad Mormon author definitely leaves a lot when confronted. Meredith continued, she wants to make it light and fun, and it's not great at addressing the issue. Dun, 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 dun. Now, this is the thing. There is also the question of, was it Jen Shah? Now, Whitney Rose has said it wasn't her. maybe. And then we saw in the last episode when it was Heather Gay and Meredith Marks and Jen Shah, they were saying they needed to create a cover story. Now, why would you need to create a cover story if the truth is Heather Gay just fell, right? If she just fell, if she was just drunk, that's a funny story. Oh my God, you guys, we were so wasted last night. I fell into a plant. I fell into the door. It's crazy. Kind of like, when Luann was wasted and fell into the bush and all of that stuff. You don't need a cover story for simply falling. But you do need a cover story if something violent happened and a fight happened and somebody else who might be, looking at a 14-year prison sentence is involved in. Now, that brings me to what this Instagram account, it's called The Social Light Gossip, had to say regarding the situation. So let's listen.
Time, but if you keep listening, I have some inside scoop about Salt Lake City for you. Recently, I've been wondering who was running the Shah Exposed Instagram account because it's been posting a ton of pro-gen content. So I reposted one of their posts and asked my followers if anyone knew who was running the account. So I got a DM from someone who knows some of the Salt Lake City ladies, and they said Angie Harrington gave the account to Jen Shah as a truce, but they're not exactly sure who runs it. I'm sure it's just one of Jen's minions. After that, I had to ask the $1 million question. What the heck happened to that eye? Alright, so here's the tea. They said while they don't know what happened to Heather's eye specifically, they do know that there was a physical altercation, an argument that happened off camera. Off camera? Are you freaking kidding me? Are we gonna have another Beverly Hills? Because I don't think that I can handle that. Now, this is the first time I've had any sort of inside scoop or anything, so I guess we just wait and see if it comes true. Oh, and they also told me that whatever happened off camera had something to do with why Bravo cut ties with Jen. Please discuss in the comments. I need to know what you guys think, because I was certain Bravo was doing us dirty and Heather just fell or ran into a door or something. Was there really a physical altercation? Hey guys, this is going to be a little bit of a story time, but if you keep listening, I have some insights.
Okay, now let's recap what she said. And I'm going to tell you why I believe her inside source, okay? I believe the inside source of what she said. For one, I went to Shah Exposed, and these are the only posts now on Shah Exposed. As we know, Angie Harrington and her husband already admitted that it was her and her husband that was behind creating this account. They were posting negative things about Lisa Barlow. They were posting negative things about Jen Shah. It was just really creepy. Any way you slice it, it was just really creepy and bizarre. And what grown adults do this? That's why I don't really like Angie Harrington or her weird husband. It's just very weird and bizarre to me. But anyway, I went back to Shah Exposed, and these are the only posts. One is saying free Jen, and the other one is talking about, while today's news was challenging for many, we must trust Jen to make the best decisions for her and her family, and also not let Bravo take advantage of Jen's situation for views. I guess we'll be subjected to listening about Whitney's healing journey. #Shah Squad. So they're throwing shots at, Whitney Rose and her whole healing journey, which I agree. Like, I'm all for a healing journey, but I think that Whitney is in that weird space where you blame everybody else and it's just a big mess. I mean, I'm also just not a Whitney Rose fan in general, but that's aside. So it all seems to be pro-Jen. And what Socialite Gossip said was that basically Angie Harrington and her husband forfeited the Shah Exposed Instagram account and turned it over to Jen Shah for her to run. And that seems to be true. That seems to be validated since there is only 2 posts over there and they're all free Jen and pro Jen. So that tracks. Now, the next thing it said was that the reason why Heather Gay has the black eye is because of a physical altercation she had with Jen Shah that was, quote, off camera. Now, this is what I think happened. And again, this is just my opinion. This is my, conspiracy theory based on what's been said and what's been shown. I think that this socialite gossip person, her inside person, I think they're telling the truth. I think they're onto something. I think Heather Gay was drunk. I think Jen Shah was drunk. I think Jen Shah got wound up because Heather Gay has been doing her dirty behind her back. You know, she's pretending to be ride or die to Jen Shah's face. But behind her back, I think that Heather Gay has a secret alliance with Angie Harrington, Angie K, and Dana. I think that is that four? I think the four of them are very similar to the faux Fox Five. I think they've gotten together and they want to take over the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. They want Jen gone, which, you know, she's gonna be gone. She's going to Clink Clink. And they want Lisa Barlow gone. I don't know how they feel about Whitney or Meredith, probably indifferent to Meredith. I don't know how they feel about Whitney. I don't know, but I think that's what's going on. And it's pretty clear that they're using Jen Shah as a storyline and, you know, for relevancy on the show, because to me, Angie Harrington is vile. She can go. To me, Angie K is boring and she's reaching and it's very contrived. And to me, Dana is the same. You know, they're like, oh, Angie K and Dana, you know, they're standing up to Jen Shah, the bully. Yes, Jen Shah is a bully. Yes, Jen Shah does the most. Yes, she did fraud and she's going to go to jail and has restitution for that. But just because Jen Shah has done bad things does not make Angie Harrington and Angie K and Dana interesting. They're just not. Like they're just not, because the only thing that makes them interesting is them trying to go after Jen Shah, and that's very low-hanging fruit. Like, we get it. Jen's a hot mess. We get it. She's a liar and a fraudster. And what's going on in your life? What is going to make your life and your personality interesting once Jen Shah goes to jail? So when you don't have Jen Shah to go after, why should we want to watch you? I'll wait. Anyway, that was a whole tangent. Let's keep going with the black eye sitch. So I do think that Jen Shah was the one who assaulted Heather Gay. And I think it was on camera. Maybe not. I think it was on, you know how they teased us with that, you know, dark camera stuff that they saw. And it was like the grainy camera where someone's like trying to open the door and then she comes in and then they click it off real quick. Well, that's on camera. So how is the altercation or whatever happened to Heather Gay off camera? I think that whatever happened to Heather Gay, Jen Shah and Heather Gay got into a fight. Clearly, Jen Shah won. I think it was on camera. I think there is footage of it. I think that Bravo chose to not air it or to say that it was off camera because Bravo doesn't want another situation on their hands. I think it's one thing for a drink toss in somebody's face, but I don't think that and this is even worse than Monique versus Candace. This situation, this black eye and scratches and bruises on her arm, I don't think Bravo wants that smoke. And I also think it's kind of like Jen Shah's already probably going to go to federal prison. Like, do we need to tack on physical assault? And then given Heather Gay, how much she takes her value in her worth and being a martyr and being like, I'm ride or die and you can do whatever to me and I'm always here for you, wah, 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 wah. I think that she has no problem falling on the sword for Jen Shah because I mean, if it was me and somebody gave me a black eye, we're going to have to throw them all the way under the jail. But I think that given Heather Gay's personality, given the dynamic with her and Jen Shah, and also given the fact that Jen Shah's already probably going to go to federal prison, it's like, tell on her for what? You know what I mean? You know, like, make it worse for what? Especially since she's going to have the sentencing next year. So I can see how Bravo's like, we don't want the liability. We don't want the smoke. We already saw everything that happened with the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, with Botgate, all of that, with Kathy situation. Bravo's already in a really bad situation when it comes to violence, when it comes to verbal assault, when it comes to threats and all of that. Bravo already has enough problems that I bet they're like, let's just not tack this one on. Let's milk it. We'll milk it, you know, for all it's worth, but let's just say it happened off camera and we don't have the footage to sort of wash our hands of it. Now, she also said that this is the reason why Bravo truly cut ties with Jen Shah, not because she pled guilty, but because of this physical altercation against Heather Gay. That to me also tracks and makes sense. Gives it now it's kind of like, okay, so maybe this is why Jen Shah wasn't invited to BravoCon, because of the physical altercation against Heather Gay. Not because she pled guilty to fraud, because as we know, Bravo loves a felon. Bravo loves a fraudster. Bravo loves all of that stuff. You know what I mean? Apollo Nida went to federal prison for a white collar crime. Very similar to Jen Shah. You know what I'm saying? And he's back on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Teresa Giudice went to federal prison for white collar crime. You know, defrauding the government, they're still victims. The taxpayers are the victims. The millions of dollars that her and her husband stole could have went to, you know, the things that the government pays for the community and society. Like that $1 million didn't come out of thin air. It was stolen from someone. So, and Teresa was allowed to come back, you know, with bells and whistles on. So Bravo doesn't have and look at Erica Jane. So Bravo doesn't have a problem with a felon or a fraudster. But this now makes more sense also why Andy Cohen was going after her so hard. Well, now that you know, that engagement is over, is the engagement actually over because Jen Shah was the one who assaulted Heather Gay and gave her the black eye? Also, is this why Jen Shah wasn't invited to the reunion? Because now that you think about it, just the fact that Jen Shah pled guilty, Bravo doesn't have a problem with felons. They really don't. So maybe the reason why Jen has been getting all of this smoke is because she was the one who gave Heather Gay the black eye. Again, this is just a conspiracy theory. This is what an insider from Socialite Gossip is saying. And to me, it's kind of tracking. It's making more sense why Jen Shah is getting more smoke than other felons and fraudsters and schemesters have on Bravo. Maybe she really was behind it. And they're like, listen, we don't want the legal smoke. We already have enough violence on our plate. We already have enough investigations on our plate. Let's just say it happened off camera. Let's milk it for as long as we can. And of course, Heather Gay is the person who's going to say, let's have the cover story. Because again, why do you need a cover story if it was innocuous, right? If it was she fell. You don't need a cover story for falling when you're drunk. You don't need a cover story for, you know, whatever it is, running into something. You need a cover story to cover something up. So I want to know what you guys think. Do you think the cover up is, no, it's actually Whitney Rose who did it, and she's lying and saying she didn't? She was the one knocking who got, you know, wasted. Or do you think, no, Heather Gay just was wasted and she fell? Or do you think, nope, this insider is right, it was Jen Shah. She was wasted, she got wound up, she got pissed, she came to Heather's room, knocked her out. And now they're trying to cover it up. Let me know what you guys think. And I also want to know, do you think Bravo is going to show the footage? Or do you think Bravo is going to pull, there was no footage, the cameras were down, you know, it happened off camera, we don't really know what happened? What do you think is going to happen? And we'll know next. I mean, ideally, we would know next episode, but you know how Bravo does. They draw stuff out. But I want to know what you guys think. So put it down below. And also, what do you think is going to happen to Jen Shah during her sentencing? You know, it's coming up on January 6th. So she's facing up to 14 years in federal prison. Her lawyer asked for 3 years, and her family has written letters to, you know, get that reduced. So let me know what you guys think. Put it down in the comment box below. And with that, you guys, be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to share this with a friend because the kiki is always better with community. And check out our description box down below. With that, you guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Welcome to Sugar Pills, a practical guide to self-care. where your host, writer, actor, and producer Candy Washington helps you live a more joyful life with a cheeky dash of pop culture news. Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and join the conversation on Instagram at Candy Washington. Let's go!